Big time trade in the NFL recently, man. A guy that we kind of were thinking of, right? just a little bit.
To come to the Steelers.
Maybe.
For what they offered, I am kind of disappointed that we didn't get him.
All right. Okay.
What the hell was that? Second round pick? I mean, there was
second round pick
was
this
some,
year.
there were some higher picks too.
A fourth and a sixth round pick in the 2023 draft. Yeah, very affordable though, huh?
It was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, they're stacked now on offense. They went from probably one of the worst receiving cores in the league to now at least top 10 in my opinion.
Yeah.
Julio Jones, AJ Brown. If Julio Jones is right, if he's healthy, that's going to be tough, man. Yeah. It's going to be tough.
And we both like AJ Brown a lot.
Yeah, I do.
AJ Brown is really good, man. And is Corey Davis still down there too, right?
No, he signed with the Jets.
You're right. He got paid this offseason to go to New York. Yes.
Who they picked up is a dude from the Rams. I forget what his name is. I think his last name's Joseph, but he had like 600 yards for them last year. But that would have been their second receiver. Yeah. So now they add Julio Jones. He's their third receiver. They lost Jonnu Smith, so their tight end's not that good. Right. But you have Derrick Henry. Tannehill's obviously been a lot better these past couple years. Their offense is good. Their offense is looking good. What else you want me to say?
Well, I look at this for Julio, even though he is on the decline, right? He's older. Him with Derrick Henry?
And for just a second round pick, too. Like that's a no-brainer.
Just think about how those two play off of each other. One makes you have to pack the box, whereas the other makes you not want to pack the box. I like that a lot.
Well, him and AJ Brown.
And I was going to say with AJ Brown, the reason I like that even more is because a lot of people looked at this as Julio has to come over here and be the guy. He doesn't, though. He low key can be just a great number 2 receiver right now, while AJ continues his, him excelling and just stepping into that stardom and stuff like that, where he's definitely on pace to do. So for me, I like this, man. I think this is a really good move. And even with Julio, right? Because with certain players, we say they're different. I always like to compare players to cars, right? I said if Julio is a 2010 Rolls Royce, all right, yeah, it's old. It's got some mileage on it. It might be a little dirty on the outside. Still a Rolls Royce, though. There's levels to it, right?
You pull up with that, people still impressed.
A 2010 Lambo is still a 2010. It's still a Lambo. It don't matter what year, it's still a Lambo. It's certain people that no matter what time of year it is, if they healthy, we know what that is.
Yeah,
we know who they are.
He could be, Jerry Rice, T.O. late in his career was still putting up
absolutely.
He would have had 1,000 yards his last season with the Bengals if he didn't get hurt, which was crazy. I don't know how old he might have been 37 or something at the time, which was crazy. So Julio Jones, if he could just stay healthy, I don't see why he can't be that type of player. At this point in his career, over the next 2 or 3 seasons, still getting over 1,000 yards, but then maybe even later in his career, still getting 700-800. I don't know how long he wants to play, but he's one of those guys, man. Yeah. And Titans, remember we talked about Fitz. They were the one that made the most sense. But you were thinking that Titans fell off a little bit. Yeah,
initially they said they were out of it, which we should have known, right? If they say they're not interested, they're interested.
Yeah, because then all of a sudden, after the signing, Schefter comes out and says, Titans were front runners the whole time. It's like, what? Why didn't you tell us this then?
Yeah, because that was definitely the case where they, for a fact, came out and was like, yo, we're not involved. We're good. So...
a lot of the teams made sense. There was a good 5, 6, 7 teams that made sense, but for the Titans, they made the most sense, hands down, because they had no depth outside of AJ Brown. Yeah, and they lost Jonnu Smith. So for them to get Julio like that, second round pick, how can you not say good move?
Seriously, man. Seriously. And then Call Me K says this. I like this perspective. He says, so AJ Brown is going to be even scarier after this, because now with him getting Julio to teach him along, just because we talked about how Julio is going to open up the offense, right? In terms of how the coverage is, different attention, stuff like that. But Call Me K bringing up the part about him being able to teach AJ, I agree. That's something that we talked about here where we said, well, why would that work? Why would Julio in Pittsburgh work? That's the big thing right there. He also ends it by saying it's going to be scary, all caps. AJ Brown is already, he's really daggone good. We've seen that now. It's been questions in terms of who's the better receiver between him and Deke Metcalf, right? In terms of just from a pro standpoint, AJ's putting together 2. He got 2 high quality seasons under his belt.
He probably had a better rookie year. Actually,
he definitely did. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be close between them two. Who's going to... they're both just going to be awesome. They're probably going to go back and forth year by year. Who had the better year? Who's the better receiver? It's going to be close all the time. I think Tannehill's going to limit them though. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna rip on Tannehill because I do think he's a really good quarterback. Yeah. But it just pisses me off how everyone just goes just completely off the deep end. A trade like this happens. People want to crown the Titans like they're the best team of all time. But
think about this though. Just think about this.
They're going to be good. They're going to be good. They'll be in the playoffs.
This is the thing for Tannehill. This is the reason why I tell people, like, because I had somebody else bring that up. Man, they only going to go as far as Tannehill. Y'all have it all wrong. Tannehill is Tannehill. He's going to be able to hit every throw that they want him to hit because the throws that they want him to hit are based off of what? Him being able to run that ball with Derrick Henry, play action off of it, getting wide open receivers, or you're getting very favorable one-on-one matchups on the perimeter. AJ Brown, you don't have to be the most accurate to hit AJ Brown in the one-on-one. Julio Jones, you don't have to be the most accurate. So it's not about Tannehill. The key to this offense working is Derrick Henry staying healthy. As long as Derrick Henry stays healthy,
a lot of mileage.
They will forever be fine out there. Because you're going to have to respect him and pack that box. And Tannehill's always going to get those very, very favorable matches on the outside, which he has proven throughout his career that he can make those throws. It's the stuff that where it's tight windows and different things where he has to throw the ball a crazy amount of times where he struggles. That's not his game. But if Derrick Henry stays healthy, he's never going to be put in that situation. Now, Derrick Henry gets lumped up, bumps and bruises. Different conversation. Now, if Tannehill has to legit come in every game and say, I have to win this by my arm only, nah, it ain't gonna work. But as long as Derrick Henry stays out there, they're fine. So that's the key to me, man.
I like that point a lot because I do think they're going to be a really good team, and I do think they're going to be in the playoffs. I think for me, it's just going to be like, okay, you're going up against Mahomes in the playoffs. You're going up against us in the playoffs. You're going up against Bills in the playoffs. I don't trust Tannehill in that spot. That's the thing, which sucks because
but he has shown that he could do it, though.
Yeah, he's been fine. What did he do last year? They lost to the Ravens last year. I mean,
yeah,
they went on
the rematch.
They went on a little bit of a run where they lost
championship game the year before, though.
Yeah, that was a lot of Derrick Henry, though. So I think that's what I mean. I think you're right. With Derrick Henry needs to be on. It's just for me. It just kind of sucks. It's one of those things in sports where it's just like I'm not going to trust you till you prove it. You can't prove it till you get there, and that's like a year away. Yeah. So, and it's just one game, so it kind of sucks from that standpoint.
Even that year where they went to the AFC Championship game and Derrick Henry was 85% the reason, we all did agree at the end, though, and this is kind of why we started laughing about the whole Tannehill thing, because we say he did make enough plays during that run.
Oh, like definitely.
He wasn't, but we were like,
it's not in the Chiefs game. Right, that's my thing.
We said he looked good. We said he was more involved than what Jimmy Garoppolo was doing, because we talked about how Jimmy G during that run to the Super Bowl, it was like, wouldn't he have a game where he had like 4 completions or something like that?
I think it was 8.
Oh, excuse me,
might have been 8 attempts.
Yeah, 8 attempts, 4. It was something like single digit. It was ridiculous, and obviously they blew him out. But we were just like, man, you know, you're the person that's a part of the like smart group in class turning the paper. You just put your name on it, and it's like, oh yeah, he went there too. It's like, you ain't do any of that. Tannehill was at least giving them a little bit more.
Yeah, because I remember him making some clutch throws down the stretch against the Patriots. Ravens game, the Titans defense was just crazy in that one. I remember that. And then Chiefs was the one where I thought he let down. That's because Derrick Henry, well, to your point though, Derrick Henry kind of wasn't the same. Like he was 60, 70 yards, but that's my thing where you're in a playoff spot like that and things aren't going right. I just don't trust Tannehill like that.
Yeah, for me, man, is I don't want to.
But you don't have that expectations for him.
Like the way people talk about trust with Tannehill at quarterback is how I would view Ben, Brady, Breeze. I'm never putting that expectation on Tannehill. I don't think he's ever in that conversation. Whereas with Derrick Henry's impact can be the same as those quarterbacks I just mentioned, Ben, Brady, Breeze. So I put all that on him. You got to stay healthy.
Sure.
I don't care about with these other guys. You got to be the reason.
No, that's a good point. I like that you brought that up.
Because I've seen Tannehill without Derrick Henry. I've seen him in Miami. He still threw for 4,000 yards twice, but he was nowhere near. But he was nowhere near the same, though. That's my thing. Yeah. Nowhere near the same. Whereas him with Derrick Henry, he looks like a legitimate quarterback. Not a top 5, top 10, but legitimate top 15 quarterback. So to me, I'm like, you gotta just keep this guy healthy. Now, how do they do that? I'm not sure, because they love to run that man. They feed him. And we know law of averages, typically running backs don't last that long. So we'll see how long this can keep going. But if that keeps going, man, next year, I like him a lot.
Okay, so here's why I bring up the Tannehill trust stuff too. And you made the nice separation there between like, I just don't even think Tannehill's in that category. So I just view him for what he is. Dude, a lot of people think he's like top 5, top 6. I'm telling you, like these rankings, these websites. That's why I bring it up.
Why?
That's why I bring it up. Where it's like he's not there. I don't trust him. So it's not. That's what I'm saying. It's not a knock against Tannehill. It's just other people. Put him in
the top 5.
They do believe that, dude. Like he has
top
certain
5
like
of what league?
No, I'm telling you, like his stats.
Top 5
people like his
division.
stats.
This is division. Top 5.
No, bro, I'm
South,
telling
bro.
you, a lot of people are high on Tannehill. Like his stats over the past 2 or 3 years are like
the stats are good.
So crazy efficient and stuff.
Super efficient, crazy good, not gaudy, but the context is right there. It's super efficient because he has this elite running game that helps him have to minimize it and puts him in very advantageous passing situations. You know who else does that? Lamar Jackson. We talk about Lamar. Lamar, if you look at his numbers, they're good at times from a passing standpoint. Very efficient because a lot of times when he's having to throw it, it's not I'm trying to put it in tight windows. It's I fooled you right here with this zone read. Pop pass to Mark Andrews, or I'm hitting Hollywood going down the field. Like that's how the offense operates. But it's different if you're comparing those numbers without the context of their offense versus, say, Ben Roethlisberger or Baker Mayfield, right? In terms of how their offenses run, or Patrick Mahomes and how their offenses run. And when you look at the numbers, you're like, well, Tannehill's, I mean, he has a higher completion percentage than these guys. Yeah, but the flow and the style of offenses are drastically different. What they're required to do is drastically different. So that's why I Tannehill in the top 5. Oh, like that's just.
I'm telling you, dude. People got him in like the top 6.
I see
7.
why you came in here with the taco meat showing, man. Because I would be highly upset as well if I would have known that. I was unaware of that.
Yeah, and I think your point's right. Derrick Henry, first and foremost, has to kind of carry the offense. I just assume in playoff games something's not going to go right. So can I trust? You know what I mean? That's like I already know that. I just always like, hey, you're going up against Chiefs.
See, I always assume that we're gonna blow them out.
What do you mean? Who?
I was assuming that whoever I'm rooting for was Steelers or whatever team, I still they're going to blow them out every time.
Oh, no. What I mean is like something's not going to go exactly as planned. Do you trust your quarterback to make those plays? Do you trust your receivers to like kind of go outside the box? You're down 7 or 10. Your running game's not going. Can your quarterback do that for you late in the game? I don't trust Tannehill like that.
Got you. Yeah,
like I do other quarterbacks. That's what I mean. Because, Henry, if he's just going off, they're going to be fine, and he's going to be fine because we saw that already. In what was that, 2019? Yeah,
but
time's flying.
Tannehill is more of a streaky passer than he is a top 5 quarterback. When I think of top 5 quarterback, that thing is instant heat. You know what I mean? It's microwave. It's hot and ready. It's Little Caesars. Like, it doesn't matter what part of the game is. If we got to have it right here, we're going to get a drive going right now. It doesn't have to be this elongated build up. Whenever we need it, we can get it. Tannehill isn't like that. Tannehill is a flow of the game type thing, man. If he can get a little series or two where he's flowing and it's like, all right, he's going to hit some passes. He's going to get in a rhythm. But he's not a guy that can just, okay, it doesn't matter what's going on. We got adversity. I got us. That's not him. And if you're not that, how can you be a top 5 quarterback when we can name top 5 quarterbacks that do that?
Exactly. That's what I mean. Unless he proves it wrong in the playoffs. But that's the thing. You got to wait and see for that. Where we're standing right now, I don't see him in that vein.
I second that emotion. Yes, indeed.